Let me tell you a secret about the survey every patient gets when they leave the hospital. I've saved the biggest secret for the end of the video. The HCAHPS survey is a government mandated questionnaire for hospital patients. By having everyone take the same survey, the thought is we can compare hospital performance across the United States. A few years ago, hospitals started to get incentivized for their performance in improving patient experience through a program called value-based purchasing. So better patient experience scores means hospitals make more money. Needless to say, the HCAHPS survey is really important for hospitals. While this will change soon, right now, the only surveys that are actually counted are those sent by mail or through a phone survey. If you're a patient, that means that when you receive a paper survey or a phone call from the hospital asking you survey questions, you hold the fate of revenue for the hospital in your hands. If you don't think that's a lot of power for the patients, then I'm not sure what to tell you. Now, if you're a hospital administrator, the details get even more interesting. Most of these programs only count what's called top box, or the best answer a patient could give on a question. So that's like either receiving an A on a test or an F with nothing in between. By not understanding the HCAHPS survey, what it asks, who fills it out, and how it's counted, your hospital will lose money. That's less money for staffing, less money for equipment, or anything else that really makes delivering care easier. But don't worry, figuring out the HCAHPS survey is one reason why you follow me here on LinkedIn. As a former chief experience officer, I have spent countless hours understanding and analyzing the survey, and today I'm going to share that knowledge with you. This is the first in a series of videos going section by section of the HCAHPS survey. So let's start with the overall rating of care section. There are 2 questions in this section, and we'll go one by one. First question, which is question 18 on the survey, using any number from 0 to 10, where 0 is the worst hospital possible and 10 is the best hospital possible, what number would you use to rate the hospital during your stay? The answers that count are only 9 or 10 out of 10. So you may be wondering how a patient might go about answering this question. I've done the statistical analysis, and the questions that most highly correlate to this one are the nurse communication questions, which we'll review in the next video. But that doesn't necessarily mean that good nursing communication means good overall rating scores. The overall rating score includes areas that the survey doesn't ask about, like billing and parking and scheduling or food. To best understand how patients answer this question, you can do 3 things. First, ask a friend how they would go about answering this question if they were a patient in your hospital. See what they say. I bet they'll talk about some things that are not asked about in the rest of the survey and some things that are. Second, look at the open-ended comments that patients provide in these surveys. The answers to the major satisfiers and dissatisfiers for patients generally live in those comments. Third, think about your hospital like one big focus group. Visit at least one patient every day and ask them generally about their stay. You may already have a practice of rounding on staff, so include patients in those rounds too. You'll learn a lot. Now, one thing I just have to tell you about rounding on patients is you're not allowed to ask any of the questions that will be on the survey. Asking questions on the survey is against the rules because you could bias the patient, but you can and should ask general questions to make sure you're anticipating patient needs and exceeding their expectations. The second question in the overall rating domain is actually question 19 on the survey, and it asks, would you recommend this hospital to your friends and family? The only answer that counts is definitely yes. Okay, actually that was a trick question because for some reason this question isn't included as part of the value-based purchasing incentive. I'm really not sure why. Likelihood to recommend questions are common in most industries and an important tool to understanding the voice of the customer. Still, this question, even though it doesn't count, provides a lot of insights into the things that most satisfy or dissatisfy patients. You want to score high here because it means your patient is not only satisfied, but would be an ambassador telling others that care at your hospital is the best. In future videos, I'll take you through the rest of the survey, but here's the big secret I've been waiting to tell you. You should never assume the patient is the one filling out the survey. In fact, just recently, even the government recognized this reality and is allowing for family members to participate in the survey. This means that you not only have to deliver on the patient experience, but also on the family experience in order to perform better on the HCAHPS survey. Communication here is the most important part, and I'll cover what the survey asks about communication and how patients interpret those questions in the next few videos. The WUWTA platform is perfectly set up to help you improve your HCAHPS scores quickly. So if you want to see what we're working on, shoot me a message or comment below. I'd love to help you improve patient satisfaction at your hospital.